Hello and welcome to the latest video from the Military Stage channel. Germany's Leopard 2A6 battle tank has been praised by Ukrainian troops using it on the front line, with one soldier thanking Western nations for sending the vehicle. 14 Leopard 2s were given to Ukraine earlier this year, allowing members of the 47th Mechanized Brigade to transition from the T-64 tank to the more advanced Western model. Ukraine's German-made Leopard 2A6 arguably its best tanks operate at night and dawn, striking at long range while on the move. Like a cat, one Leopard 2A6 loader named Yuri said in an interview for the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. The interview, the latest in a series of them that the Defense Ministry in Kyiv has produced featuring Ukrainian tankers, confirms what observers already had gleaned from earlier footage of the 69-ton, four-person Leopard 2A6s in action. And it adds a new detail. The upgunned Leopard 2A6s, presumably all 21 copies that Ukraine got from Germany and Portugal, belong to the Ukrainian Army's 47th Mechanized Brigade, not the 33rd Mechanized Brigade, as Ukrainian planners originally intended. The 47th Brigade at first operated ex-Slovenian M55S tanks, super upgraded Soviet T-55s from the 1950s. The brigade at some point this spring swapped the M55Ss for the Leopard 2A6s and sent the older tanks to northeastern Ukraine to fight a defensive campaign alongside the 21st and 67th Mechanized Brigades. Early in Ukraine's long-anticipated southern counteroffensive, which kicked off along several axes in Zaporizhia and Donetsk oblasts in early June, the Leopard 2A6's reassignment represented a distinction without much of a difference. At the time, the 33rd and 47th Brigades fought side by side as they first tried forcing their way through Russian minefields south of Molotovmachka, then eventually found a way around. The distinction was more salient in recent weeks as the 33rd Brigade, with its large consignment of around 3 dozen older Leopard 2A4 tanks, apparently pulled back a few miles in order to give technicians time and space to install explosive reactive armor on the brigade's tanks. The 1980s vintage Leopard 2A4 is less well protected than the 2000s vintage Leopard 2A6s, so the Ukrainian army has prioritized the former for add-on armor. The refit program, which transformed Leopard 2A4s into what observers call Leopard 2A4Vs, seemingly left the smaller contingent of Leopard 2A6s to shoulder the main burden of supporting Ukrainian infantry attacking south from Molotovmachka through Robotyne, a key strongpoint on the road to Russian-occupied Tokmak, and 50 miles farther south, Melitopol. The infantry probed Russian defenses around Robotyne, often in their American-made M2 fighting vehicles, and often under the cover of darkness. The M2, which equips the 47th Brigade's 3 infantry battalions, has high-end day-night optics that make the vehicle a good match for the Leopard 2A6, whose own optics are some of the best on the Ukraine battlefield. I can see perfectly at 4 to 5 kilometers, and even more, a Leopard 2A6 gunner named Vladislav said in the interview. The tank's high speed also is very important, the gunner added, nodding toward the Leopard 2A6's powerful 1,500 horsepower diesel engine and robust transmission. We can drive at high speeds of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. And thanks to the multi-axis stabilization of the main gun, a Leopard 2A6 crew can track a target smoothly even while moving over rough terrain, Vladislav said. Combine the Leopard 2A6's best attributes, precise day-night optics, high speed and excellent stabilization, and you get a nimble night hunter, a nocturnal predator, according to loader Yuri. We mainly operate at night and at dawn. Fighting at night heightens the Leopard 2A6's strengths and, owing to the Russians' own struggles to fight in darkness, also protects the small Leopard 2A6 force from enemy fire. Its night vision device gives visibility for up to 2.5 miles, allowing the Ukrainian army to effectively engage the enemy and achieve close to a 100% success rate. The Leopard 2A6 tanks may be Ukraine's best tanks. They are more advanced than older Leopard tank models also given to Ukraine by its allies. A Russian colonel general previously called the tanks the best ones in Europe and said they have good night vision. Russia, in comparison, has frequently been fighting with older tank models, sometimes decades-old relics from Soviet times, and Russia's equipment means it can struggle to see at night. However, the night vision Leopards are a limited resource. Ukraine got 21 of the 2A6s from European allies, and no more are due to be delivered. Future packages include only American M1 Abrams tanks and older Leopard models. The Ukrainians already have lost 3 of their 21 Leopard 2A6s to mines, mostly, although explosives-laden drones are a major threat, too. And while that's pretty impressive in light of how hard the 47th Brigade's tankers have been fighting these past 3 months, it also should serve as a reminder that no more Leopard 2A6s are coming. No, the only Western-made tanks the Ukrainians are getting in the coming months are 31 American-made M1s plus 150 or so 40-year-old Leopard 1A5s that, while also excellent night shooters, are thinly armored compared to more modern tanks. On the other hand, Vladislav in his interview also said that he likes the new German-made Leopard tanks more than old Soviet ones because he and his crew are less likely to die horribly if the vehicle takes a hit. Vladislav, a member of the 47th Mechanized Brigade that has been pushing through Russian defenses on the front lines near Robotyne in the Zaporizhia region, started off fighting in a T-64. The T-64 was an advanced tank when it first entered service in the 1960s, but it is now vastly inferior to modern main battle tanks. Though they started out on old Soviet equipment, Vladislav and his fellow tankers have since upgraded to a Leopard 2A6, a much more capable tank from this century with protection, speed, and a stabilized cannon. We switched to the Leopard, and the difference is huge. The main advantage of this machine is crew survivability, Vladislav said, explaining that when you go out in it, you are more at ease about your life and the lives of your fellows. There's no such effect as in Soviet equipment, no detonation of the ammo rack and no turret flying off, so to speak, he said. The situation the gunner is describing is known as the jack-in-the-box effect, and it's something that has ended the lives of many operators of Soviet-era tanks, including crews on both sides of the ongoing fight in Ukraine. In photos from the war, it's not uncommon to see destroyed tanks with the turret laying nearby. With Soviet-era tanks like the T-64 or later T-72 and T-80, crew survivability wasn't the highest priority. As a result, a weakness in the design, specifically ammunition storage, increases the likeliness that a penetrating strike will set off the ammo, ending the lives of the vehicle's crew as the pressure buildup blows the turret off. Western tanks like the German-made Leopard, even if they are knocked out in the fighting, don't have this particular problem, and the crew is more likely to survive. Beyond tanks, Ukrainian service members also speak very highly of Western-made protected mobility platforms, such as armored personnel carriers and infantry fighting vehicles. Ukrainian soldiers, for example, credited US-made Bradleys with saving their lives early in the counteroffensive when their vehicle took multiple hits. Other Western vehicles, like the American-made Humvee, have also received praise from Ukrainian forces. Thus, the Ukrainians should make the most of this while they still can. That's our video update on the Ukraine war. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Stay connected with us for more interesting and latest videos.